Hey YouTube, this is Sensation. I'm going to report in for a short video here. Just kind of explain what's kind of going on with the layout right now. As you can see, everything's just a mess. I've got everything everywhere. My Autorack train has expanded quite a lot. Over the past few months, I have been buying a whole heck of a lot of HO scale. I've got just under 50 locomotives now, and I'm just under 250 pieces of rolling stock in my current fleet of stuff. So I went to a train show, the Great Train Expo here in St. Louis, and I decided it's time. I'm kind of tired of HO, so I'm going to go to N scale now. So I decided to buy a Daylight. I found one for a decent price. Got the 10 car set. Got a 7 car UP set with 844 and the tenders. So I figured, why not? Why not go for, some N scale? So I did. So with that being said, my whole layout is going to change now. I am no longer going to be doing HO scale on this layout. This layout is going to become N. I'm going to pack up all the HO and take up all the track in Cork. I'm going to buy Kauda Unitrack and go to N scale. Now I'm not selling any of my HO scale. I am just going to be packing it up. And I'm pretty much going to have HO scale for whenever I go to somewhere else that someone has HO around car. I can still run a train in HO. And then I'm hoping to be able to make some friends who do N scale, and hopefully, bring some N scale over and run N scale. So these are the first two sets that I got in N scale. I'm hoping to get some more. Eventually, I'm pretty much going to be doing a full modern, mainly modern. However, I love the Daylight train. I love the Daylight train and set. I think it's by far one of the best sets out there. So I'm going to keep that. Obviously, I had to get the Excursion set. The next set I'm going to get for UP is the 11 car City of Los Angeles set to complete the Excursion train. The 844 is going to get Tsunami 2. The Daylight is actually already DCC'd. However, the cars are going to get shorter couplers, and they're also going to get lights inside. And I've also got two articulated cars coming from a buddy of mine here in Missouri. For that set to extend the Daylight set. I almost considered buying the second set the train store had at the train show, but I decided against it and just went for 844 with the tenders and the 7 car Excursion set. So the other new car that I got is the CMO Scale Trains Hopper, professionally weathered by Ducky. Or if you happen to know him, he'll know who he is. And this is a fantastic car. I love it. This is a series that he's doing with buildings of, whatever city you're from and whatever name you decide to put on the side of the car. I chose Sensation because it's my YouTube name, and I think it would just look cool, and it does. It just looks awesome. So, thank you, Ducky. Anyway, that's really it for this update. I guess I can go around here to locomotives. The new locomotive 2 is 4572 to go along with my 2 other tunnel motors. These over here in this line need decoders and sound. Everything else is fine. The Mikado is sitting over here because the decoder is shot in it. everything else here works perfectly. But with that, you know, the layout's going to change. I'm hoping going to N scale means I can have, you know, a nice big yard and a lot more, you know, I can have a lot more space with N scale. And I mean, I'm going to go for a really wide turn that Kato makes just for that daylight set. I've had some issues with the locomotive with the rubber tire, traction tire coming off every now and then, but I've heard bullfrog snot can work wonders. So I'm hoping to pretty much continue what I'm doing with that I have with HO, but then I'm also looking for doing more with N scale, where I can have it's a smaller scale, so that I can have more room to do what I really want to do with this size of a layout. You know, have more industry in places, have 40 car trains, and still look fine. You know, that's what I want. I want to be able to run 40 car trains and be perfectly fine. You know, as I get more freight, I mean, my Autorack train is only 25, almost 30 cars long now. That's a big train. So, this is kind of coming to a shock with everybody. I've put it on my Facebook saying the Fox River Valley Railroad is going to N scale, going to a smaller scale than HO. I can't do HO anymore. There has been, since my dad's passed, you know, he and I built this layout together. And I want to keep the frame, but I'm going to switch scales. That HO is just, there's too much emotion in it right now. So I'm going to go to N scale. I'm not going to sell off any of my HO scale. So I'm just going to slow down on buying HO for now and focus buying up more N scale so that by the time I get my track work done, I'll be ready to put trains on the track and be done. Anyway, with that, I'll talk to you guys later. Sensei Sean, signing off.